Hello guys and gals, and welcome to another episode of Ginger Toy Mentor. Today we are going to look at the Decepticon Insecticon Kickback. This is a legacy transformer, and I'm actually pretty excited about this one because I always liked the Insecticons. I always thought they were really cool. I mean, granted, they were evil, and you know, they weren't exactly the nicest of transformers, and they kind of were crazy, to be honest with you. They were a little nuts, especially Bombshell. But I always thought it was really cool having them and playing around with them. And one of the things I also always enjoyed about them is that they kind of had like a secret compartment, I guess you could say. Like the Dinobots and the Insecticons always had like this little secret compartment, this place that you could store things, which didn't really make any sense, but I mean, I was happy that it was there. I mean, there was no actual purpose for it other than just kind of like a cool little area that you could store objects in. And this is my boy locked on his card here. He's got a lot of things holding him down. I mean, he is being held down by 1, 2 for his weapon, 2 more for his other weapon in a crisscross, 2 more for his other side of his, I guess, his energon sword or whatever the hell's going on here, and then 1, 2, 3, as if that's not enough, 4 holding down the body. And man, that is a lot of straps for one guy, especially considering I just opened up Soundwave, and Soundwave was being held down by nothing. He was being held down by nothing at all. So it does seem a little excessive when you have somebody like Soundwave who can literally be held down by nothing, and then you have somebody like this who's held down by literally like a million straps and little doodads. I mean, he's strapped in there better than some people chain up their wife to their bedpost. Jokes. So he does seem to be already in his robot mode. Let's take a look and see, though, what we can do to finish off his robot mode, because they never seem to be quite perfect. So it looks to me like when he's in his robot mode, his wings are supposed to be pointed up like this. Definitely is going to make it hard for him to go through doorways. It looks like his blades can either go A in his hands, or B, they can also go on the sides of his arms like this, which is kind of cool. So 2 different ways you could potentially do it there. It doesn't look quite the same as it does in the book. Like the book is showing them kind of like all the way down. Let me see if I can show you this. So notice in the book the tops of the gun like barely match up with his head in the illustration. In reality, the tops of the gun are well above his head, which means I either have it wrong, or there must be something else going on here. Maybe it goes here instead. It's a little loose. It's a little loose down there, but I guess that is the correct spot. And then we also, of course, have his gun. Now these blades can also be utilized as swords according to the manual here, so you can also just simply put them in his hands and he could be using them as swords. So one thing we could do is we could have this one out of his hands and he could be utilizing this as a sword, which I'm sure is going to make him kind of front heavy and might make him fall over a little bit easier, but we'll see. Let me try bending his knees a little bit. Get a little bit of like, yeah, there we go. And now he's looking pretty good, I'm not going to lie. Let's flash to a fashion photo shot of him in his robot mode. And then we're going to go to a transform him into his grasshopper, right? He's Kickback, so he's a grasshopper. At least that's what I think, right? So, we'll see what we can do to get him into his alternate form. Alright, so next we're going to try and transform him into his Grasshopper mode, because he is an Insecticon. And let's go ahead and remove his weapons. I'm very curious about this plate on the front of him. Is it just a plate, or does it open? Does it open? It doesn't particularly look like it opens. In fact, there seem to be little notches that would prevent it from opening. Oh, that's sad. What about on the back side? Does anything on the back side open? So we do have his copyright information here on the inside of his leg. It does say 2021 Hasbro SA Tomy, made in Vietnam, V2976B. And then engraved is the number 20,061, so 20061. And on the inside of the other leg is a number printed in red that says F3040. You know what? I'm kind of at a loss on how to transform this guy. Like, I remember that his head goes down like this, and then there's his antennas, right? So he's got his little antennas. It looks like his legs have the... okay, those are kind of creepy looking. Has the little grasshopper legs on it. That's pretty cool. And then it also looks like the fist goes in and forms the other two grasshopper legs. Okay, that's pretty creepy looking. So you rotate the fist around, and that gives you the grasshopper legs for the front, and the grasshopper legs for the back. Which, I don't know if that's actually correct or not. So let's take a look at the manual real quick and see if we can get a better idea of how he's supposed to be sitting for his grasshopper mode, shall we? I feel like we've got some of it, but not all of it. So yes, we fold out his arms. Apparently there's a locking mechanism for his head to hold his head into place. It seems to be this, but it's very difficult to make it come out. Like it's really in there. I try very gently with a razor blade just to kind of like, yeah, okay. A little bit difficult to make that come out, and what that does is it covers up his face so that his face is no longer seeable. So you see his face is right there. You put this in front of his face, kind of makes a mask, which is pretty cool. It does seem like the legs are facing the wrong way according to this, so they should be facing this way. Which also means that the wings should be up like this. Yeah, that makes more sense. And we also need to rotate around the feet so that they are facing down. Okay, that looks a lot more creepy, scary. Apparently these actually do fit onto the wings. There are notches along the wings. Apparently a bunch of them. And you take the notches, put them on the outside of the wing, with kind of like the gun portion facing downward. According to this, his gun mounts onto the bottom of him, like so. And there we have it. Kind of a really cool looking, crazy grasshopper. Wasn't that difficult to transform, just didn't have the direction of his legs proper. I mean, he definitely does look like a really evil looking grasshopper. I wonder what Cody will think of it if I show it to the dog. Hey Cody, look at this bug. Cody, look, it's a bug. Oh no, look, it's a bug, Cody. Ooh, it's gonna bite you. Cody's my big giant monster dog. The monster dog. I mean, all in all, he definitely does look really cool, and I really do enjoy the aspect, the like the G1 aspect of these toys. They kind of had my they kind of had my money when I saw that it was, you know, a very G1-esque style. I know a lot of you Transformer collectors out there probably are very similar to me. You really enjoy the G1 style, and this is a G1 style toy. It definitely is. Is it exactly like the original G1 Kickback? No, it's not, but it's still a really cool, like a G1-esque style toy. And I think most of us will admit, I think, that not all of the G1 toys were really the greatest quality, but they were, you know, some of them were absolutely excellent. Even as I go back over them for my reviews, I find that the, you know, some of the G1 toys are actually absolutely brilliant. Whereas some of them, like for instance G1 Bumblebee, not really so much an amazing toy. I mean, granted, in his car mode he looked cool, but when you transformed into a robot mode, he was like a brick with legs. But this was one I think that was always really cool. Bombshell and Kickback were always really cool as Insecticons. So let's flash over to the fashion photo shot of Mr. Kickback here. And as always, I do appreciate you guys and gals watching my videos. And if you like them, subscribe so you can keep on watching them, my boys.